The truth about FaZe, the tweet. 15, 20 minutes for me is really going to be a turning of the page. I'm speaking from the chest, and I felt like that was very, very important for me to do.
FaZe is falling apart again, and this time the drama is way messier than anyone expected. Banks finally broke his silence after months. Former members rushed to launch their own group, and somehow it all exploded at the exact same time. You've got a brand new team, a $20 million house, and a surprise Twitch show, all colliding in one chaotic moment. Nothing about this feels simple, and the deeper you look, the more confusing it gets. Was this all perfectly timed behind the scenes, or just the wildest coincidence ever? Let's break down everything that actually happened, because this situation gets crazier the more you dig into it.
The truth about FaZe, the tweet. The truth about FaZe. And people ran with it, new FaZe members, this, that, what's he gonna say? The FaZe files, yeah. I'm going to just say it right here, right now. There's going to be none of that. We're not sharing conversations. We have absolutely, there's no bad blood. This next 15, 20 minutes for me is really going to be a turning of the page. I just wanted to talk to you guys from the chest, from my heart. I don't have any notes. This isn't scripted. I'm speaking from the chest, and I felt like that was very, very important for me to do because I just want you guys to see me and hear me. And yeah, the truth about FaZe, the truth is, I think that everybody lost. I think that I lost. I think that the boys lost. I think that FaZe, of course, lost. And I think the biggest loser in all of this is you guys, to be honest. The audience, the viewer.
For the first time in months, FaZe Banks finally broke his silence and jumped on Twitch to speak out about the collapse of FaZe. And he did not hold back at all. He went straight at anyone who had been throwing shots at him or the team, making it clear he felt disrespected and blindsided by how everything went down. What made it even messier is that a lot of that backlash wasn't coming from outsiders, it was coming from former members of FaZe themselves. These same people turned around and revealed their brand new group called Core on that exact same day, and it didn't look random at all. The timing felt calculated, like they were trying to steal the spotlight while subtly throwing shade at FaZe and acting like they had already moved on without looking back. You could tell Banks wasn't feeling that move one bit. From his point of view, it looked like they were waiting for the perfect moment, right when he was about to speak, to drop their big announcement and shift attention onto themselves. This whole situation really kicked off when Banks posted a trailer teasing a major stream where he promised to address everything head on. And when that stream finally happened the next day, it pulled in tens of thousands of viewers, all waiting to hear what he had to say and how deep this situation really goes.
We built something incredible that so many people enjoyed, and that's why, I'm clearly super emotional about this. So are they, so are you guys. And again, I appreciate that. I don't think any one party is better off without the other. I still to this day wish that we could have figured it out. Genuinely, I think that we were all much better off together. I think that we operated as a fucking all-star team, and it's just a shame that we couldn't get aligned. And that's honestly where things went wrong. We just couldn't get aligned. There were two halves to this brand and this company. One was very much in front of the camera. That's the part that you know. And then we have a whole other side in the back. That's where over the last few months, I have to just fully take accountability and just accept the fact that that's where I went wrong in this. That's where I fucked up.
I get why he's saying all this right now. It comes off like straight PR talk, trying to sound calm and understanding for the viewers and keep everything looking clean. But when he starts claiming there's zero bad blood between him and the other members, that's where it gets hard to buy into what he's saying. If you rewind just a few months, Banks was telling a completely different story. He was calling out FaZe members, saying they were ungrateful, talking about how people were disrespecting each other behind closed doors, and even saying they couldn't stand living together. That wasn't vague either. It sounded personal and messy. Now suddenly, he's flipping it and acting like everything is cool and there's no tension at all. From the outside, that just doesn't line up cleanly, and it leaves people questioning what's actually real here. Looking at it realistically, there are only a couple ways to read this situation. Either what he's saying now isn't fully true, and there is still tension behind the scenes, or what he said before was exaggerated in the heat of the moment. Either way, this situation didn't make Banks look great, and during this response, you could tell he was trying hard to clean up his image and take control of the narrative.
My entire career, I've ignored contracts and deals. I've signed bad deals. I've been f***ed over. I haven't paid attention to this boring stuff because that's not me. That's not for me. But I assumed this role as CEO. I sold the boys a dream on fucking FaZe being the biggest thing ever. And we succeeded. We succeeded on the vision. Everybody's much better off because of it. But then you guys gotta understand my POV and my partner's POV.
One thing about FaZe, and really any content group built like this, is that once you turn it into a full-on business, things can get messy fast. You've got the creators and streamers doing all the content, bringing in the views and attention, while a whole different group behind the scenes is focused on deals, numbers, and profit. The problem is, those business-focused people don't always understand the content side at all. They're not thinking about what actually connects with viewers. They're just looking for ways to make more money off the creators. That disconnect starts to build pressure, and it doesn't take long before things feel off balance. Then you stack on the insane costs, rent hitting 6 figures a month, massive production budgets, expensive content ideas that can run into hundreds of thousands or even millions. It adds up quickly, and the risk keeps getting bigger every single month. At the same time, the creators are often keeping all or most of the revenue they personally generate.
Because I sold business people on this as well. We needed to fund it. This whole thing cost millions and millions of dollars. And I told them, I have this vision, I have this plan, and it will work. I think one of FaZe's biggest problems, to tell you the truth, and I've thought obviously a lot about all this, I think that FaZe experienced.
So when you look at the full picture, it becomes really hard to turn something like this into a stable, profitable business model. So yeah, it's probably a good move that Banks came out and apologized for everything. But it still feels strange seeing this shift, especially when not that long ago, he was going at these same people. And now he's stepping into this calm, good guy role to clean things up publicly.
Success way too quickly and way too rapidly. Like these kids overnight and FaZe overnight were the biggest streamers on planet Earth. What did that create? What kind of environment did that create? They just wanted to create content. They just wanted to stream. I remember these conversations so vividly, and we had them so often where that's where the misalignment was. It was like, hey guys, can we sit down? Can we talk about business? I'm a guy who I wish that I focused more on building content IP or dropping a product with Rice Scum and Alyssa and Summer Rae. I'd be way better off. We missed the mark on that because all we cared about was the day-to-day YouTube vlogs, and we were content brained and we were young. And I tried to extend that experience to these guys and have these conversations about building business, but they're kids and they want to stream. And that's not a problem. That's not an issue. That's what you guys want. That's what they want, but it's not necessarily what the company needed or what we wanted, right? So that's where shit starts to get messy. And then again, from our POV, and I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm happy. I consider this last era of FaZe one of the best moments in spans of my entire life.
I remember when this whole FaZe revival was happening, and Banks kept pushing the idea that this was the strongest FaZe had ever been.
And I will always appreciate these kids, and I will always appreciate you guys for that stretch of time in that moment. It was a very important moment in my life. I promised these partners a successful business as well. So you see on your timeline about how great FaZe is, and you see all these clips go viral, and you see these guys making a ton of money and doing very well, and that's great. But then you look at, the FaZe accounts, and they're bleeding, they're hemorrhaging, we're dying. And it's like, well, we need to figure out the business. We need to figure out the business. And a month goes by, and then 6 months goes by, and then a year goes by, and before you know it, you're millions of dollars in the hole. But everyone's telling you how great it all is, but it's not sustainable and it can't work. And that's 100% my fault, period. That was my job to figure that out. And I cared more about Twitter and more about the content and more about the brand stuff. And we crushed that part, but it was all for nothing. And again, the irony is that it put FaZe, when it was all said and done, in a much worse spot, which is crazy.
He was saying nobody believed in it like he did, and that this new wave of streamers was about to carry the legacy forward and turn FaZe into something even bigger than before. With all that talk, it's wild to look at where things ended up. This was a team that once felt untouchable, sitting right at the top, and then suddenly losing every single member in what felt like a single day. That kind of collapse doesn't just happen randomly. It points to something going seriously wrong behind the scenes. And a lot of that seems tied to the business side of things, which Banks was heavily involved in running. Sure, there were other people around him, but they weren't the ones making the big decisions. Most of them were just backing the vision, putting money into it, and trusting that it would somehow turn into a massive success. Looking back, it makes the whole situation feel even more intense because everything that was promised and hyped up ended up going in the complete opposite direction, and fast.
So yeah, that goes without saying. Listen, I wish these guys nothing but the best, genuinely. All of them, every last one of them. I know shit got weird toward the end and emotional, and yeah, that's another huge thing that I just want to speak on. Is it's hard for me to apologize for being passionate and emotional because I feel like.
And this is where things get a lot more complicated. Yeah, Banks played a major role in why FaZe ended up falling apart again. But at the same time, he's also the main reason it even came back in the first place, at least from what the public has seen. He, along with the other owners, were the ones bringing in names like Lacey, Jason, Plaque, Boymax, Silky, and the rest of that streaming lineup. That whole wave of creators didn't just appear out of nowhere. It was built through his direction and the people he chose to put on. So while it's completely fair for people to call him out for how things collapsed, you can't ignore the other side of it either. Without Banks, this version of FaZe probably never would have existed at all. All the subathons, the content houses, the viral moments that pulled in millions and millions of viewers, that entire run was heavily tied to his influence. None of that just magically happens without someone pushing it forward behind the scenes. So even if I don't agree with a lot of his decisions, or even like how he moves sometimes, I can still recognize that without him, none of this would have actually played out the way it did.
That's like part of the magic and that's part of the success. Like, I don't think that any of this could have happened without that piece. You know what I mean? So it's like, I see tweets like, you ruined FaZe, and I'll take that. Sure, we can call it that, and I can take that. But I feel like if that's true, then it must be true that I'm the reason why FaZe has continued and why we all came together in the last 2 years as well. So it's like just one of those things where I just wish people could be happy that it happened rather than being sad that it's over, if that makes sense.
When Banks said this, it instantly had people thinking, wait, is he seriously about to revive FaZe all over again? And if we're being real, most people probably already see where this is heading. He's likely going to try it again in some way, shape, or form. But the way he framed everything during that live stream threw people off a bit. Instead of coming in with a huge reveal or announcing a brand new FaZe roster like everyone expected, he switched it up completely. He made it sound like this was going to be something different, more focused on building up younger talent in a new kind of way. And rather than dropping a big team announcement, Banks revealed he's starting a weekly Twitch show called Marketbubble, which caught a lot of viewers off guard and shifted the whole vibe of what people thought was coming. He debuted Marketbubble Episode 1, co-hosted by Anso and shared trades like buying Solana at $1.50 and selling it near $260.
I know I was really bummed out the way everything ended, and I fucking made some whack-ass tweet about this shit's over, I'm done, poor me, boo-hoo, and I really regret that. But another thing I regret is obviously the misalignment, the emotional shit, but I wish that I was just more myself with you guys. I played this role, I played this character, and I know you guys remember when we first started doing this, when the sentiment was positive, I would enter a fucking frame of a chat and watch the chat spam W Aura. And I didn't give a fuck then the same way I don't give a fuck now when they spam L Banks, because you know me the same. I don't know. I hope people consider and see that obviously when you guys are spamming W Aura and fucking FaZe is at its peak subathon, I could have fucking started a live stream. You know, I could have became a streamer then and probably, you know, ran with a successful streaming career. I didn't do that. You know what I mean? And I'm doing it now at a rock bottom.
Then showed mixes, markets, AI, pop culture, and esports bets backed by Polymarket, and others fans cheered the fresh pivot and Discord community, while skeptics called it a scam amid low chat engagement.
And I like that. As far as FaZe is concerned, like I have ideas, I have a vision, I have a plan. The sad and boring truth is I did step down as CEO when all that happened, months before Christmas and months before this ended. I'm confident in the future. I'm confident in myself. And I just want to be the first one to say it. And I would just want to go on record that I'm going to do it again and again and again, as many times as I need to. And I fully believe in it. And it's going to work and it's going to be successful, even in the face of a million people telling me that it's not and that it's over.
I feel like when Banks launched this show, a lot of people didn't just see it as content. They started questioning the real intention behind it. Some viewers were saying it looked like a way for him to use his influence to push things like crypto and stocks, possibly guiding his audience towards certain investments that could end up benefiting him more than anyone else. Now, to be clear, that's all alleged and mostly based on what people were saying online, especially across Twitter. Still, the timing and the idea itself had people raising eyebrows and looking at the situation a little differently. At the exact same time Banks was introducing this new show, the former FaZe members made their move too. They revealed their new group, Core, and dropped a full YouTube video showing off a massive $20 million house tour, which instantly grabbed attention and shifted the spotlight. That moment really escalated everything. It pushed Banks to respond right then and there, in the middle of his own Marketbubble stream, turning what was supposed to be a simple launch into a heated, real-time reaction to everything unfolding around him.
This is crazy. So the boys just launched a group, and they have 34,000 followers, and they launched it with this. They're rebranding themselves as the Core Boys, and they just moved into a new house. This is happening live in real time. This is breaking news, everybody. And it stands for create, own, run everything, which is cute. And it's in line with like the fucking, the FaZe shit, whatever. It's ironic though, because this picture, and like, you guys got to keep it a bean. This picture is a recreated FaZe picture. Maybe somebody responded with it. No. This is the picture that we had as like our YouTube Avi for a while. And I constructed this picture on set. Like I told them all like crowd in and fucking make this picture. And we took a picture, whatever. And like I directed this picture to be.
I can't lie. It does feel pretty strange how all of this lined up at the exact same time. Like, yeah, it could just be one massive coincidence, but when you look at everything happening side by side, it starts to feel a little too perfectly timed. You've got Banks launching a brand new show, while at the same moment the former FaZe members are moving into a huge new house and revealing their new group. That's a lot of major moves all dropping at once. And it naturally makes people question if there was some level of coordination behind the scenes. To me, that explanation almost feels more believable than everything just randomly syncing up like this. But at the end of the day, there's no hard proof either way, so it still leaves room for doubt. And then there's the other angle people keep bringing up, saying the former FaZe members and Banks aren't on good terms. But if we're being real, do we actually know that for certain? That's something worth keeping in mind, because not everything is always as clear as it looks from the outside. When you really look at everything, this whole situation just feels layered and hard to fully figure out.
Like how we brand on socials, because I didn't think a FaZe logo made sense. I wanted to brand it with these guys. It's just funny because this was my direction, my vision. And it's like, and honestly, listen,
so these
I'm
were your guys,
happy.
like that's guys that
besides Marlon.
Okay.
But he was kind of like affiliated. There's a couple missing too. Max isn't in here. And Rage. It doesn't seem like they're a part of this. But these guys look happy, man. To be honest with you, like Alex is the fucking best. It looks like he's been working his fucking balls off. He looks exhausted.
He looks stressed.
Jason looks super happy. Fucking Lacey looks trim. Silky looks like Silky. Marlon's handsome. And Ron's honestly a generational talent. And, you know, it was a fucking good run. And again, I'm seeing this in real time. And I wish them nothing but the best. Genuinely. What a good fucking day all around.
There are so many moving parts, different stories, and perfect timing that it leaves a lot of unanswered questions hanging in the air. Whether it was all planned out or just a wild coincidence, one thing is clear. This situation grabbed everyone's attention and isn't dying down anytime soon. But that's just how it looks from the outside. Let me know what you think about all of this. Make sure to like, subscribe, share this with someone who's been following the drama, and drop your thoughts in the comments below.